Billions of people die in Rick and Morty, and I'm not being dramatic. Trust me, the numbers are real. While we don't remember most of them, some characters totally had it coming. From a judgmental wizard to Rick's all-time nemesis, here are the characters in Rick and Morty who I definitely won't miss. Alright, let's kick off our list of one of the most satisfying deaths on the show, Tammy. It all starts when the invitation for her and Bird Person's wedding arrives at the Smith house. Rick really isn't interested, but everyone went anyway. The wedding turned out to be a sham. Tammy reveals herself as a secret agent working for the Galactic Federation, and her wedding as a front to get all the Federation's enemies in one place so they could all be arrested.
Everyone here is under arrest for crimes against the Federation.
Chaos, understandably, erupts, and the wedding becomes a shootout. Rick and his family escape, but in season 4, we find out that Tammy's still alive, and she hasn't changed at all. If anything, she's gotten even more insufferable.
I have a defiance? Oh God, I'm a clone.
That's your defense?
No, my defense is eat me. Hey!
She goes after Beth for crimes actually committed by Space Beth, but that wasn't gonna happen. I mean, their dad is the Rick Sanchez.
Father of the Year. Shut up!
She was telling Rick how the Galactic Federation doesn't really care that much about him anymore, but Summer, wearing an invisibility belt, knocks her down. This is when Rick shoots her.
You made me go to a wedding.
Nobody liked Tammy. She was super annoying from the start. Remember the party where she met Bird Person? I knew there was something seriously wrong with her when she tried to impress a guy by acting drunk and messing up her hair. It's such pick-me behavior. Now for another super annoying character who had it coming. The Cromulons are here, and they're huge. They hold the Earth hostage, demanding a banger.
Show me what you got.
And they came at the absolute worst time. An earthquake just struck the Grammys and killed everyone who could give them what they want.
There was an earthquake and all the musicians, all the famous ones, they're gone.
You'd think that at times like these, everyone would cooperate and stick together, but nope. Someone's always gotta be an asshole. And in this case, it was General Nathan.
What America's got is 70,000 megatons of kaboom boom. And I say we show it right up this floating head's ass.
The president calls Rick and Morty because only they can handle such a massive threat. But General Nathan thinks the best thing to do now is not to entertain, but to nuke the Cromulons.
I'm setting the nuclear option to launch 1 minute into Earth's performance. And you, Mr. President?
He flips out, going against the president directly and launching nuclear bombs at the Cromulon hosting the show. I think the Cromulon speaks for all of us watching when he says,
Boo, not cool.
he is such a buzzkill. After the Cromulons leave and everyone's happy, he tries to kill the president. It was such a relief when Rick zapped him with his wristwatch, and no, he doesn't turn into a snake.
Why didn't he turn into a snake?
Trade secret, Mr. President.
He really dies. At least he didn't try and turn everyone into super soldiers. When Space Beth goes to assassinate the Ultromflomite queen, she discovers that someone's already beaten her to it, and the queen is dead.
The defiance says hello. Or goodbye? I mean, I guess the hello meant goodbye anyway, but this guy beat me to it.
After getting out, she sees footage on the TV of the Queen's birthday. Space Beth wants to get to the bottom of this and finds out through a Ultromflomite that the guy behind all of this is Fantabulous.
It was Fantabulous, the former royal doctor.
Wait, the medical officer?
A mad scientist and eugenicist. Fantabulous killed the real queen and created the new queen on TV, who's a robot and spore bomb. He plans to have her detonate and turn everyone there into an Ultromflomite.
All of Cromulon 1 will gather for her birthday, and all will receive a gift.
He's going to release enough of them to turn everyone into an Ultromflomite. Rick, Space Beth, Bird Person, Bird Daughter, and General Ron Comula's Joe all go together into his lair to kill him. One of the Ultromflomites impales him straight through, doing half of their job for them.
No, no! No one gets to say the phrase rent-free after I die. It dies with me. I did everything you could do with it.
Thank God for that explosion, which finishes him off. I don't know how much more of this I could take. Now for the slut-shaming wizard. After endless badgering, Rick finally caves and gets Morty a dragon, Ultramore. A wizard comes to drop him off and creates a soul bond between the dragon and Morty.
Hereby bind this noble serpent and rider at the soul Here's your tome of dragon spells and lore. That'll have everything you need. Enjoy your dragon.
But Morty soon finds out that dragons can kind of be promiscuous, and having a soul bond with one is not all it's cracked up to be. Balthramore's really lazy and just wants to lie around and chill.
What do you want to do?
I want to enter my lair and sleep upon my hoard until the age of man expires.
After Rick sees the treasure Balthramore's been hoarding, he's impressed and becomes friends with the dragon. Morty walks in as soon as they start soul bonding, and he's horrified.
The fuck? Morty, I can explain. Why are you still doing it? Why does it feel better now?
The wizard appears because the contract has been broken. Balthramore could only soul bond with one person at a time. He slut-shames Balthramore and whips him.
You don't have to shame on you.
Rick, Morty, and Summer then decide to head to the dragon's world and free them from the wizards. They meet the other dragons and team up with them in a giant soul bonding ceremony that kills the wizard, freeing them from him.
That just made it last longer. It burns longer. I'm gonna die fast.
The wizard was mean and judgmental as hell. He had it coming, bluntly, just like Worldender. The Vindicators call on Rick for help when Worldender is back and threatening to, well, end the world. His favorite pastime is destroying planets and committing genocide.
Vindicators, Worldender is back, and this time he's out to end more than worlds.
Rick hates the Vindicators and thinks they're beneath him,
Hope you're happy with the adventure so far, Morty. These guys are even lamer than last time.
but goes anyway because Morty happens to be a fan.
Please, they just call themselves heroes so they can— I'm calling them that, Rick. They're my heroes. Mine.
Rick couldn't care less about all of it. He gets blackout drunk the night before the mission and leaves diarrhea all over the table. Guess being the smartest man in the universe also makes you completely immune to embarrassment. After getting through Worldender's traps and making it to his room, we find out that Worldender is either dying or already dead, thanks to Rick, who finished their entire mission while blacked out.
You came here and defeated our arch nemesis while so drunk you don't remember doing it? That's something obvious to you?
He also set up a Saw-style series of games in Worldender's lair. He remembers none of it, and they will die if they don't answer correctly.
Do it in 3 minutes or you'll all die.
As if it couldn't get any worse, he doesn't have his portal gun on him. Now that is one productive alcoholic. I just tend to puke and pass out. One thing's for sure, Worldender was a terrible villain, just like Nick. Rick is so pissed when he finds out Morty tampered with his portal gun.
Take your word for that and I shouldn't have to, which is why I have sidekick rules. If you can't follow them, I can be replaced. Yeah, so you keep telling me.
That he decides to replace him. He spins a wheel and teams up with two crows. Morty, not one to be left behind, does the same thing and finds himself a new partner in crime. While messing with Rick's portal gun, he spills some fluid on his hand and it opens a portal on his skin. Which connects him to Nick, who's also got one just like that on his thigh. But get this, he's in a mental hospital. Nick wastes no time in turning Morty against his grandpa.
Listen to yourself. We wouldn't even be in this situation if the dude hadn't fucked us both over.
He claims that Rick's the reason he's in the mental hospital, and he convinces Morty that his and Rick's dynamic is super toxic.
Am I doing it right? Did I give you a dap yet?
Look at us. We got out. And not just from the asylum, but from Rick.
Not that he's necessarily wrong, but still. Next thing you know, the two become besties. They even come up with a name for their duo, the Portal Boys. I don't know why, but I absolutely hate that title. Nick soon reveals his true colors when they head to Rick's portal fluid supplier. He pulls a gun and gets violent. Something tells me it's not Rick's fault he's in the mental hospital. I mean, come on. The guy has crazy eyes. He then attacks Morty and corners him next to the train tracks. This is when Nick reveals that the story he told him about Rick was all made up.
I thought we were both victims of Rick's abuse.
Maybe we are, maybe we're not. Maybe we both just drink at the same bar, and maybe one night I tried to take his portal gun.
Meaning he just said that to manipulate Morty against Rick. Morty, seeing no other way out, cuts his hand off on the incoming train and throws it into Nick's thigh portal, which kills him. Nick was a lying, manipulative, violent piece of shit, and I'm glad Morty got away from him and Rick came to his senses. Let's not forget the time Jerry teamed up with one of the bad guys. Morty is afraid Jerry will kill himself. He's not handling the divorce very well. In an unusual display of kindness, Rick decides to help Jerry out and takes him on vacation to the Immortality Field Resort.
It's a Rick and Jerry adventure.
The place is completely death-proof. It's not possible to die there. It's like Suicide Watch, but way more fun. So there's no chance of Jerry offing himself being the upside. Just like it is everywhere he goes, there's a guy here as well who has beef with Rick. Risotto Groupon. Apparently, Rick was the one who gave his enemies the weapons they used to overthrow Risotto's kingdom.
My kingdom was usurped by force, with weapons and technology supplied by your father-in-law.
It's not his fault. Man's just trying to keep a side hustle going by selling weapons on the side. Turns out inventing things and going on adventures doesn't pay very well. Risotto manipulates Jerry into helping him kill Rick and tells him to take his father-in-law on the whirly-durly.
The whirly-durly. Between the first whirly and the third durly, the ride dips just outside the immortality field.
You're asking me to lure Rick to his death?
A roller coaster with a break from the immortality field. His plan is to send his henchmen to do the job once Rick and Jerry get to that part that dips out of the field. But it doesn't work, and Rick survives. He then confronts them again in a commercial space liner. The ship's operators inject Rick with synaptic dampeners. Think of it as a fancy alien sedative. But as they move through the wormhole, it wears off. Rick wastes no time and he kills Risotto.
Jesus!
Again, totally deserved. He was an asshole, and it really wasn't Rick's fault his kingdom was overthrown. Now, for the time Rick avenged Diane. Rick C-137's true arch-nemesis. The man he spent 7 seasons hunting down. Rick Prime finally gets what he had coming to him in this episode. Rick's attempts at finding him didn't work out too well, so he takes a little help from an old enemy, Evil Morty.
Thought you wanted to work together. Just until you could kill him and they call me Evil Morty.
After ending up at a prison for Ricks who were chasing Prime and escaping from there, Rick and both Mortys make it to Prime's real lair. Prime loves bullying C-137 and makes fun of him for missing Diane and having her voice the AI in his spacecraft.
You sucked at eating pussy!
Clearly just said to be hurtful, but I also won't deny it. I was young.
He then uses the Omega device on Uncle Slow, wiping him from every dimension. Rick and Morty both pass out, and it's Evil Morty who saves the day by managing to restrain him and destroy his backups so he doesn't come back once killed.
Okay, I think I'm getting the picture. Ow! Frying my backups. Smart.
Then Rick beats the living crap out of him, literally. I think it really says a lot that Rick murdered him with his fists. He didn't use any weapon, device, or gun to do it, which is how he usually kills people. We know he has a whole arsenal of tools that'll get the job done faster than you could say wubba-lubba-dub-dub, but he wanted to do this with his bare hands. This was, to say it at the very least, personal. It was the man he'd spent years and years chasing. Now on to one of Rick's worst inventions. Morty Jr. makes an appearance in this one. Ring a bell? Morty's Gazorpazorpian child. Last we heard of him, he was trashing Morty on national TV.
My father kept me locked in the house.
He contacts Morty from the hospital and says he wants to reconnect with him and know about his mother, Gwendolyn. She was a sex robot Morty picked out in an alien antique store and was not sentient at all, which is why this makes no sense to me.
Your mother was...
A semen receptacle?
Oh, you heard, huh?
I know she was made to process seed and never technically alive, but...
But still, for whatever reason, Morty Jr. wants to pay his respects, so they both go to Rick's garbage portal to find her. This is where Rick throws all his discarded inventions. As soon as they go in, Rick's trash management robot, Salvatron, tries to kill them, just because that would be easier than contacting Rick and telling him Morty's here. He just doesn't want to do his job because he's scared Rick will tell him off. They escape Salvatron and reach Garbtopia, eventually finding Gwendolyn's grave. There, the two start ranking their sexual encounters.
She was the finest I ever had. Well, top 3. Top 5, at least.
Oh, top 5, eh?
There's a lot more than 5, too. It's high praise.
A conversation that's overheard by Trash of the Trash, who really doesn't approve of their tone and grabs them. I just could not stand this guy. He's a total Karen. Morty and Morty Jr. weren't even talking to the guy. First he eavesdrops at a graveside, acts all self-righteous, and then tries to kill them. Trash of the Trash wants to leave Rick's garbage dump and demands Morty let him out of there. But Salvatron's still out there and would kill them. He takes Morty back to the portal entrance, where Salvatron sees the two and kills Trash of the Trash. When he goes after Morty, some of the Garbtopians kill him, and honestly, he had it coming. Rick's not going to miss him either. He was a deadbeat who didn't want to do his job and was also a total prick. Then there was a time Rick killed a whole lot of rich people. We've all fantasized about what we'd do if the idea of the purge actually turned into a reality. Rick and Morty got to answer that question firsthand in this episode. After stopping an alien planet for windshield fluid, Rick decides to stay a bit longer when he finds out that the purge is about to happen on this planet the same night. Morty's terrified and wants to leave. Understandable, if you ask me.
By watching a little of this purge through it. What? No, what is your problem? Morty, grow up.
But then he sees a girl in trouble, and I'm sure you can guess what happens next.
That poor girl. We have to save her.
Morty's in a knight in shining armor wakes up. The girl's name is Artricia. After she steals Rick's ship,
Get out! Get out! Hey, whoa! Get the f out of the flying machine!
and they get it back, she tells them she was only going to use it to destroy the wealthy elite class on the planet, which keeps the poor suppressed and forces them to kill each other through the purge tradition.
I was going to use your ship to destroy the rich assholes that run our society and save my people from the horrors of this yearly festival.
Would have been way easier if you just started with that. Rick and Artricia don special armor, go into the rich people's house and kill all of them. It's a bloodbath. I'm sure we can all agree on how much rich people suck, and these guys were no exception. But compared to what a certain Jerry's going through, I'd say they got off pretty easy. Okay, this one doesn't actually die, but they do suffer a fate even worse than death, so I think he deserves an honorary spot on this list. Rick reveals that he's made decoys of his family because squid people are out to kill them. You know, normal Tuesday. The situation gets even more confusing when we find out that even the decoys have been making decoys, meaning who knows what's real anymore.
When squid started killing decoys, decoys started checking their decoys and learning that they're making decoys. That's making them seek out and run into other decoys, making them realize they're decoys, making them start to kill other decoys.
One of the decoys is the Glockenspiel Smiths, and judging by the looks of them, Rick totally half-assed these guys. They look like they were made in China, but they're good guys. They try to save as many decoys as they can by taking them to a canyon. But when that hideout is discovered, Glockenspiel Jerry can only think about himself and escapes, closing the exit route and locking everyone else on the other side. He apologizes, saying he's only doing this because he wants to live and...
Sorry, I didn't ask for this. I just want to live, but there's only so much varnish. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh boy, does he live. He has no choice but to live from that moment on. He douses himself in a lot of varnish, the thing he screwed his family over for, and this makes him indestructible. He doesn't die, not even when the beavers build a nest in his chest, or he's hung up from a mirror as a decoration, not even when he's hung right above Jesus while he's being crucified. I agree with him when he says, Storylord was just annoying as hell. We see him first in Season 4, Episode 6, when Rick and Morty find themselves on the story train. And all the passengers have beef with Rick. Storylord is the guy running the train, and he wants them to tell a story so cool that it breaks through the fourth wall.
What's happening?
The reason I brought you here. I'll now fuel my anthology with your limitless potential, propelling it to its final stop. Beyond the fifth wall.
They escape, leaving the Storylord in what he himself calls a kid's Bible show. The whole time they were in a toy train that Morty brought for Rick. We see him again in Season 6. He's broken out of there with Jesus' help and entered meta-reality.
The fictional versions of you trapped me in a Bible show for children, but I used make-believe Christ to transcend fiction and enter meta-reality.
He uses previous Leon as bait and makes it out of that reality. Bro just straight up confronts his creator, Jan.
Why do you look like my character?
I am your character, and you are going to improve me.
After discovering that the company went bankrupt, he kidnaps Jan and uses him. He then builds a huge machine that'd take all the motivation from everyone in the world and give it to him. I mean, where do you even go with that? I mean, I guess the big thing is, bluntly, I could really use one of those on Monday mornings. All of this means he just wanted to be the most powerful guy in existence and have everyone else be weak and powerless. Rick and Morty find them, and Rick fights Storylord while Morty convinces Jan to stop helping Storylord.
Did you do that?
You gotta want it.
Come on, just stop. I don't want to fight you.
When Jan shuts down the machine, all the motivation goes back to the people it was taken from, leaving Storylord helpless.
please, let me live.
Rick beats him down, and then Yan finishes the job in a hilarious way, smothering him with a Rick plushie. I, for one, think there couldn't possibly have been a better end to him. He was selfish and super manipulative to Yan. But Kenneth was way worse than him. Summer does all her chores, and Rick is pleased. So he gives her the attribute slider like she asked.
All right, what are we boosting? What are we losing?
Strength me up, dog. I want that froth bad. Drop intelligence.
All right, 4 customizable stats, courtesy of the genetic sequencer.
Come here, nerd.
No!
There's a party coming up and she wants to leave an impression. Morty's pissed that Rick gave it to her because he's been asking him for it too.
She's just using tech to customize herself for social situations.
And the two siblings fight at the party, eventually falling into the pool. The slider malfunctions and merges the two together. When Summer gets out of the pool, we see that Morty is now a teeny tiny alien sticking out of her stomach. A Kuatu, like from the movie Total Recall, and his vocabulary is now super limited. All he can say are 3 words.
Open your mind!
Holy shit!
Summer then heads to a party where there's going to be more people with Kuatos, and ends up getting kidnapped by a Kuato trafficker. Kenneth. He has long brown hair and wears a white robe. Is it just me, or does he kind of look like Jared Leto? Wouldn't be too much of a stretch. Kenneth was kind of the unofficial leader of the Kuatos, and Leto supposedly runs a cult. I don't think it'd be much of a stretch. Rick and Morty has made fun of celebrities before. Remember Elon Musk?
This is a team operation, and regular Elon can be a little bit controlling.
Anyways, Summer then wakes up to find Morty gone, and only a giant scar where he used to be on her stomach. Rick catches up with her and they both go to rescue Morty, who's about to be auctioned off to the highest bidder. The thing about this guy, he has a Kuato himself, but he sees nothing wrong with selling his own kind for a profit, and he admits this.
I sold out my own kind, and I'd do it again.
Wow, who could have seen that coming?
After watching him jump out of his Kuato's Kuato like 100 times, I was so over his shtick, and so was Rick, who then drowns him in the ocean.
Wait, I have so much more to reveal.
Kenneth with a trafficker and a prick. I don't think anyone's gonna miss that guy, or Boss Jerry. Jerry finds another Jerry sitting at his table, eating breakfast, acting very at home.
Hey! What are you? Hey!
He's suspicious at first, but the two become friends. The other Jerry, Mooch, shows him how he gets around without a portal gun, and the two then embark on an adventure together, visiting several dimensions, including some pretty crazy ones. They have a blast, but then, when it's time for Jerry to go home, there's just one route, Grand Central. They end up at a house that's full of bandana Jerrys and is run by Boss Jerry, a Jerry who wears a leather jacket and slicks his hair back. Even though Mooch pays his toll, Boss has both of them grabbed. Apparently, he suspects Mooch of mapping new routes through the multiverse. Because, you know, that would cut into Boss's profits. Mooch and Jerry are kicked out of the shed, left to fend for themselves in Mooch's reality.
Get off of me!
And this is where everything would have been fine, if only Jerry could remember the name of his universe. Classic Jerry. They had no choice but to go back to Boss Jerry's house, and he does not like that. The other Jerrys go after them, and a wild multiversal goose chase ensues. They find the burlap sack portal and climb the rope that'll take them back, with Boss Jerry hot on their heels.
It's Jerry's like you that make me sick. Why can't you just stay home? I'm trying!
Before he can make it, they sever the cord, sending Boss Jerry into an infinite vortex which kills him. Yes, finally! I could not stand this Jerry, but I liked it when our Jerry teamed up with a Rick to fight a gangster. Rick and Jerry swap minds because Rick wants Jerry to know what it's like to be him after Jerry says his intelligence is wasted on him. In the meantime, Morty's been caught by some underworld gangsters for selling crystals. But when the boss sees him, he recognizes the kid and is afraid of Rick's wrath.
You big precious moron! Do you know the fuck? This is Morty, the kid who hangs with Rick Sanchez?
So, he calls Rick to let him know about the misunderstanding, but Rick and Jerry are still swapped and begin fighting before Chucksley can explain that he hasn't really kidnapped Morty.
Tell me where you are.
No, you tell them where they are.
Like Liam Neeson. Do not pretend to explain Liam Neeson to me, sir. Hey, Jerry, stop it. Touch me there. We know where you are.
Rick and Jerry don't trust each other to save Morty, so they go together, forming the most unlikely alliance ever. They don't make a very good team, though. When Chucksley's giving the Morty back and trying to brown-nose Rick by giving him a whole suitcase of free crystals, Jerry, still in Rick's body, begins insulting Chucksley and he snaps, deciding not to play nice anymore. Jerry, in Rick's body, turns his head into a cone and goes right through Chucksley. But surprisingly, the guy still survives and decides to kidnap the Smith family. That's when Jerry and Rick turn into Jericki.
I am Jericki.
What's up?
And avenge the Smith family, and Chucksley finally dies.
How old is this?
I know he didn't mean to kidnap Morty or pick a fight with Rick, but none of this would have happened if he'd let other people sell crystals too, rather than trying to monopolize the crystal business. Now for the time, Rick had a showdown with a god. Rick's got a pretty interesting dating life. He's dated a hive mind entity, an alien, a bug, a warrior priestess. He was even with a planet this one time, and he apparently got her pregnant. Gaia messages him and breaks the news.
Please answer me. I'm pregnant. Oh my god, Grandpa, you fuckboy.
I'm not a fuckboy, Summer. There's no way those kids are mine.
And the rest of the Smiths push him into going and taking responsibility. It wasn't just one child though, not even two, but a whole species. Rick and Beth stay on the planet and work tirelessly to make sure things run smoothly and his children have a good social system set up. But then Reggie shows up. He says he's the actual father and Rick is pissed off.
Rick, the kids, I messed up. You're not their father.
Little ones, Daddy's here!
He and Beth have put in all this work and this chump wants to swoop in and take all the credit. They both get into a fight. Reggie turns into a giant, and for a second there, it feels like Rick may not win this one. Reggie's the god of thunder. And Rick, despite his genius, is still a man at the end of the day, mortal and all. But then Summer and Morty save the day by crashing a ship into him from behind, and Reggie dies.
What the fuck?
He did not see that one coming. And neither did Lord Henderfinger. Rick injects a serum into Morty's arm to make him strong so he can fight in the Blood Dome and distract everyone while Rick steals some isotope 322. Morty does get stronger, but the serum also gives him the muscle memory of the person the serum was taken from. Meaning, the kid now has a sentient arm and it has a bone to pick. His name is Armathy, and he definitely has a mind of his own.
Who else wants some? Who wants to be my pussy of a dad today? Hey, what's wrong, man? You're not getting weak on me, are you?
Armathy used to be a woodcutter and lived with his wife and child in a small village, but then the invaders came. They burned his wife and child and tortured them. While Morty's in the Blood Dome, his arm recognizes an old enemy, the soldier who tortured him and killed his family. Armathy goes after the guy and finishes him off. Then the two prepare to get back at the soldier's boss, the guy who ordered the murders in the first place. In the meantime, Morty actually starts enjoying being with him, and they form a strange, yet actually pretty wholesome bond.
What if we just went back to the Blood Dome and just kept taking our baggage out on unrelated people? I mean, we could do that forever. I mean, I know it's less healthy, but we'd be together and...
They soon find Lord Henderfinger and kill him in his bathtub. He's a weak, scrawny-looking dude with a terrible haircut. Armathy has no trouble ending his miserable life. After his unfinished business, revenge, was done, Armathy is finally at peace. Let's not forget the guy who unleashed the bubonic plague inside Anatomy Park, however. Rick has a job for Morty. Go inside a homeless man's body where Rick created Anatomy Park, a Jurassic Park-style amusement park where the main attractions are the worst diseases known to mankind. How exciting.
Amusement park inside a human body. Science isn't cheap, Morty. This should really help put a dent in the overhead.
Oh my god! This is insane!
When Morty gets inside, he meets the crew running the place. There's Dr. Xenon Bloom and his assistant Annie, as well as Poncho and Roger. Morty instantly has a crush on Annie.
This is Roger and Annie.
But can't dwell on it because then Ruben dies from all the diseases running free in his body. The park starts collapsing and they all have to get out or else they'll die too. While they're all running through Ruben's intestines, Morty notices what's going on. Poncho's secretly smuggling the bubonic plague in his backpack. As soon as he's exposed, Poncho makes one last desperate attempt. He grabs Annie and holds her at knife point.
Poncho? What is this in your backpack?
That's bubonic plague.
Then reveals he hates working for Dr. Bloom.
Anything is better than working for you, you pompous, negligent, iTunes gift card as a holiday bonus.
And planned to release the disease and sell it to anyone who'd buy it. I guess there's a market for just about anything on Earth, even diseases. While he's going on and on about how much he hates Dr. Bloom, Morty attacks him. Then the bubonic plague bites Poncho and he falls to his death. Perfect irony. And a perfect end to Poncho. Now for one of the most pathetic villains on the entire show. Rick's being approached by a bunch of random corny villains who all have a bone to pick with him, and he has no idea why. He tries to ignore them for a week, and that's when we meet Pissmaster. And yes, that's really his name. He shows up when the fam's all having a meal together, and makes some remarks to Summer that'll definitely get him cancelled.
Wouldn't mind spraying her with a golden shower.
Jerry gets really pissed off and goes outside to confront him. Also, are we just going to ignore that he was pissing all over the house? Disgusting.
He's spraying my lavender bush. My bees need that lavender.
Remember 5 seconds ago when you guys were stoked about me changing because it made you feel superior?
And then we learned that this guy's also got the absolute worst catchphrase I have ever heard.
You want a piece of piss?
He pisses on Jerry too while getting his ass whooped. What kind of low-life villain is weaker than even Jerry? Jerry turns into a hero after Summer records his brawl with Pissmaster and posts it online, and Pissmaster turns into a laughingstock. Rick feels for the guy and goes to see him, only to find he's slit his wrists and lay dead in a bathtub. There's a suicide note blaming Jerry and everyone who laughed as Jerry beat him up. I just don't get it. He's acting like a victim now, but he was the one who showed up and started causing trouble. Now, he's acting like none of this was his own fault. Rick tries to revive him, and when it doesn't work, his daughter shows up to the door, super apologetic.
You still sound like you're gonna do something bad. Just promise you won't, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Rick decides to redeem the guy in everyone's eyes and disguises himself as him while doing some good deeds. I don't know why Rick had such a soft spot for the guy. He was super whiny and really unlikable. But at least he wasn't into kids, like King Jellybean. On their adventure, Rick and Morty try to steal money from a giant who lives in the clouds, so they can give it to the poor villagers.
This village is terribly poor, yet the giant that lives in the clouds above has untold treasures.
You know what? I accept your call to adventure.
But they're caught, and then let go because of a minor technicality.
Nobody got that? Whatever.
Oh man, what'd I tell you, Rick? We did it!
All right, Morty.
On their way back, they stop at a little tavern, and Morty goes into the bathroom, where he gets assaulted by a weird guy named Mr. Jellybean. Mr. Jellybean is a total creep. First, he tries being friendly to Morty and encourages him to be positive.
I get nervous that maybe it's gone a little too far off the rails.
Isn't that what adventures do?
Then he puts his hands on the kid's shoulders, and we can literally see Morty's expression drop. But then it gets even worse. He shoves Morty into a stall and holds him down. I was genuinely really traumatized by the scene, as I think a lot of viewers were. I think even now, 8 seasons later, barely anything comes close to how graphic and uncomfortable this scene is in Rick and Morty.
Stay, go with the flow.
Stop! You're making me really uncomfortable.
Stop fighting me. Just let this happen.
Get off of me!
Morty was absolutely rightly horrified, but rather than freezing, he slams the toilet lid down on his attacker's head multiple times and leaves the bathroom. We find out that he wasn't just a creepy guy trying to assault a kid in a bathroom, which is bad enough. He was the king over there. Fortunately, Rick nips him in the bud before they head home. Thank God, one less pervert in the multiverse. I can get with that one. Then there was the time Morty's new friend turned out to be a genocidal hater. Rick takes Morty along with him to sell a gun to Cromulons Michael, who's going to use it to kill Fart, a gaseous creature. Fart is a super hot commodity because he can manipulate matter. He knows how to produce any element by adding or removing protons, meaning he could theoretically make someone super rich if they had him. Morty doesn't want Fart to die, so he takes matters into his own hands. Killing Cromulons Michael Michael and some other Cromulons so that Fart can escape. His plan? To help Fart go back to where he came from.
Rick, we're taking him back where he belongs.
Oh yeah, where's that? Are you going on a quest to find he who smelt it?
All is said and done, and the two are saying goodbye, Fart drops a bomb on Morty. This whole time, he's been planning on returning to Earth with his race and killing all carbon-based life forms, including humans.
To us, you are what you would call a disease. Wherever we discover you, we cure it. You said yourself that life must be protected even through sacrifice.
Morty was so nice to Fart, and Fart just casually slips to him that he's going to destroy Morty's entire race. That too, after singing a whole number about world peace and love. Did he really think he could drop that bomb and just be allowed to go home? Not cool, bro. Morty realized he did all of this for nothing and kills Fart with the very same gun Rick had sold Cromulons Michael.
Morty, why?
Poor guy died for nothing, but still, I'm glad Morty killed him in the end, just like he did to the Tina Tears. Morty's got a crush on a girl, but this time she feels the same way.
So are you two dating?
Oh,
Yes, we are.
It's Planetina, an environmental superhero. They go out and things are going really well between them, but there's a tiny problem. Planetina is being controlled by the Tina Tears, the 4 kids who are now adults. In the 1990s, Mother Nature recruited them to fight pollution and gave them 4 rings, which gave them the power over the 4 elements: fire, water, air, and dirt. They used their rings to summon Planetina. At the start, they were all about saving the planet, but now all they care about is making money. Totally explains why they don't really treat Planetina like a person and don't want her and Morty to be happy together.
Well, Planetina's more than that. She's a brilliant living thing, and I love her.
Oh, you love her? Well, guess what? We own her.
After catching her and Morty together, they decide to sell her off to Saudi.
I'm eager to celebrate my purchase of Planetina over dinner.
Yikes, we've all heard the stories about that place, and it's not pretty. Morty's not going to let her slip away just like that. He goes to the Tina Tears and kills all of them. He even kills the Saudi dude, all on his own. They totally had it coming, and so did the Saudi guy. We know nothing about him, except that he's Saudi and is okay buying a woman and eating endangered animals. Just rich people things, I guess. And that is a wrap on the video. Do you agree with my list? Leave a comment down below and let me know if I missed anyone. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel before you leave, or else Pissmaster will piss all over you next. Gross.